Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The information that we continue to receive in regards to the Azimio planned demonstrations tomorrow really sound and look like a horror movie. That when some people are planning to go on with their demonstrations in accordance with the law, some people are sitting somewhere and are planning how they will be shedding blood. That tomorrow, some people will be swimming in blood, courtesy of night meetings that are being held in Kenya today by senior citizens, by senior politicians. And I want to submit to you that some people are innocently inviting themselves to the Hague, or they're inviting ICC into their doorsteps. Then you will hear them saying that it was so and so who took us to the Hague. Yet today, they are trying to mastermind and plan for massacre against the very fellow Kenyans that they took oath and swore to protect. The letter that you have all seen, I will just summarize because this is something that you have seen. Raila Amolo Odinga is revealing startling information that it's just incredible. In the letter that you see there, they just read the first paragraph and you will read all of it because this is something they've seen, that it has come to our attention that Mr. Gachagua is currently coordinating a major operation of mayhem against planned Azimio la Umoja protest rallies scheduled to take place in Nairobi tomorrow. To realize these evil and bloody plans against otherwise peaceful protesters, Mr. Gachagua has set up an armory and command centers in two different locations, at a house next to Bomas of Kenya that belongs to a former cabinet secretary, and another on Hillcrest Drive, Nairobi, belonging to serving cabinet secretary. And then it says that these two homes are currently being stocked with all sorts of modern and crude weapons, including guns, pangas, and machetes for the said operations. These weapons are being ferried to the venue in a vehicle camouflaged as St. Mary's ambulance. Some of the vehicles deployed for these operations are KBQ 721J, KAZ 432F, and KBM 771Z, among others. The same crew weapons and forces uniforms are being dispatched to up-country locations in Western and Nyanza, where youths have been booked in hotels with the instructions to target specific Azimio leaders. A number of rebel Azimio MPs from these regions have been deployed in support of this dirty mission, especially in Western and Nyanza. In Nairobi, public service vehicles belonging to Embasava, Zuri, and Forward Circles have been deployed to ferry youths to places like Jogoo Road, Kibra, Dandora, Hiram, Mudhurwa, Kayole, Kariobangi, Gorogosho, Mlango Kubwa, Githurai 44, and Githurai 45. Their mission is to target Azimio leaders in Nairobi, including Honorable Babu Owino, Honorable Pio Wandayi, and Honorable Edwin Sifuna, and Honorable Jeremiah Kioni, among others, when this planned mayhem comes to pass. Among others, when this planned mayhem comes to pass, Mr. Gachagua must be prepared to take full responsibilities for it. Retired Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, March 26th. So that is what is happening, ladies and gentlemen. That our deputy president, if at all these revelations are true, is that he swore and took oath of office to protect Kenyans. He is the second in command as we speak. The way they got into power notwithstanding, because as it is, they take salary. William Ruto is taking huge salary as the president of Kenya, and Rigathi Gachagua is taking huge salary as the deputy president of Kenya. So if whatever Raila Amolo Odinga is saying, and if whatever he's saying is true, then it means that Rigathi Gachagua is planning to cause a massacre, like what happened in Rwanda. That you remember the rebel ODM MPs have stooped too low that they want to preside over massacre of their own brothers and sisters. That they want already Youths have been ferried. They are in rooms with intention to murder. And who, for example, if at all what is being said is true, that for example in game, then Elisha will be in charge of this. And maybe in Nairobi, people like Jalang will be there. In Rongo, the people like Walter and the member of Rongo will be presiding over this. In Bondo, Gideon Ochanda. And it's pathetic because now we are looking at politics as a matter of life and death. This is very unacceptable. Ambulance that is supposed to be used to save lives. These vehicles are now being used to cause mayhem, to ferry weapons that will be ending lives. Look at that irony. You know, demonstrations and picketing is something that is within our constitution. And from what has happened before, Azimio has demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that they want to conduct themselves in a manner that is dictated by law. The ICC must come to Kenya and they must monitor what is happening. Raila Amolo Odinga has quoted the name of the person responsible for the blood that is we're about to witness. Because if these evil plans are allowed to prosper, then it means that tomorrow, after the demonstrations, we will be swimming in blood. The police who will be used to do anything contrary to the laws of our country will bear and take full responsibility. You know, when you are given orders, I remember even in 2007, you are given an order by your boss. But the time will come when they will narrow into you as an individual. Each and every person will take responsibility, full responsibility. We urge our policemen not to be used to cause mayhem, to kill people without any reason. A police officer is only allowed to kill when his life is in danger. The fellow Kenyans who are being used to target other fellow members, this is just, for lack of a better term, shame on them. This is the most ignorant and the most stupid thing that we can ever do. Even if I was not supporting Raila Odinga, or if I was not supporting William Samoei Ruto, I cannot allow myself to be used to kill a fellow Kenyan just because of political affiliation. It's the worst thing that can ever happen to a fellow Kenyan. You leave your house, maybe your wife and your children, they think you are going to work, you are going to kill someone, you might not know whether you yourself will come back. We have had this, even in 2013 and 2017, we had some demonstrations. Uhuru Kenyatta was the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces, but he never reigned terror the way this government is trying to do. It shows why our president had to fly out of the country, because it seems they had masterminded everything, and Rigathi Gachagua was the one who is now left to execute these evil plans. Do you think we are headed to the right direction? Because we need to condemn this with the strongest terms possible. When people are demonstrating, the Azimio supporters are carrying on with their demonstrations against William Samoei Ruto, does it warrant someone to lose his life? And why is it Rigathi Gachagua so much obsessed, if at all whatever is being said is true? Is he now using violence to maintain their reign, to maintain their administration? What is the worry? Why are they worried? Does it mean they are suffering from legitimacy? Because I'm now wondering, if you know you are installed legally, as a president and a deputy president, why do you have the audacity of even planning to kill your own very citizens? This is unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. The Azimio supporters must ensure that they conduct their mass action and demonstrations in a very peaceful manner. Let them not fall into prey of destroying people's property. It is unwarranted. Let them check and be very vigilant of the people who are around them. We have been told what is happening, so if anything will happen tomorrow and we see any bloodshed, then we know who will bear the responsibility. The only person who has said that is ready to face the ICC is the Inspector General Koome, who has said that as a Kenyan citizen, he will be discharging his duties without any fear or favor. I want to repeat this. Let us not hear in the next few months somebody saying that it is so and so who took us to the Hague, yet we are now planning to take ourselves to the ICC. You cannot plan bloodshed in your own country. You cannot plan to murder, to cause a massacre in a peaceful country. When Raila Amolo Odinga calls for mass action, the constitution is very clear. Provide security. Let them demonstrate and air their views. Because after all, what they're talking about are real issues that touch on the lives of Kenyans. This idea, it cannot be stopped. You cannot stop an idea whose time has come. Real issues are there. Whether you kill people, the ones who are remaining will still continue to ask you to lower the cost of living. They will still continue to ask for electoral justice. They will continue to ask you to appoint people into public offices, including everyone, including even tribes that did not vote for you. So let us not try to use short-term or shortcuts trying to heal a long-term process. We need to have a permanent solution. All these meandering and planning mayhems will not help us as Kenyans. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think, but this is just unacceptable. We have known who's responsible. If at all we will see any bloodshed tomorrow, we know it is our deputy president. We know it will be the rebel Azimio, rebel ODM members of parliaments who are planning to kill their own brothers and sisters. And we will now take account of all the losses and will take them to the Hague. No one is allowed to destroy anybody's property. No one is allowed to kill a fellow Kenyan. Let us conduct ourselves within the law, because anything beyond the law takes Kenya to anarchy. That is my take.